Hey everyone, Steve here from Learn Online Video, and today I'm on Dartmoor National Park in the southwest of England, where I'm going to be showing you how to shoot cinematic B-roll using a phone. I'm going to be showing you how you can capture smooth handheld footage that makes your videos stand out. I'm going to be showing you how to capture each shot, and then at the end of this video I'm going to edit all of this footage into a short cinematic sequence. Today's video is sponsored by Epidemic Sound. This is where I'm going to be getting all of my music and sound effects for the final sequence. Okay, so you arrive at your location, you want to capture some B-roll, some cinematic shots for a sequence. Where do you even start? Well, think about the story that you're trying to tell, and then think about the shots you'll need in order to best tell that story. Okay, so this is a pretty good location to get an establishing shot and set the scene. We've got a nice vast landscape, sums up Dartmoor pretty well. We've got the forest in the background. We've even got some grass here that we can use for foreground and create depth. Using depth and movement in your shot can make a huge difference to the production value of your footage. Take this shot here, for example, a static shot, no movement or depth. Now here's that same shot, only this time I'm going to use this grass as foreground to create depth and then lift my camera up to reveal the landscape. Just look at the difference that this makes to the shot. We now have smooth cinematic movement that reveals our location. Also, whilst I'm here, I'm going to switch to slow motion mode and capture another shot pulling back. It only takes a few more seconds to grab another shot, and you never know what you might need in the edit. Okay, got another tip for you here, okay, and this is all about movement. How can you add more life and movement to your shots? Let me give you an example. I'm currently shooting up here. This is the shot, and as you can see, there's not much movement in this shot. And look, if that's what you're looking for, then great, this shot works well. But for me, I'm always looking to see how I can add more movement to my shots. So look, by simply repositioning my camera and lowering it down, we've now not only added foreground to this shot, but we've also added movement. Okay, let's head towards the forest and capture some more footage. I'm going to start with a shot pointing up, push forward, and then tilt down. I thought this could be a nice way to transition from the outside of the forest to the inside. Okay, let's get a little bit more creative, shall we? Now, since the theme of today's video is nature, let's capture a shot nice and low, pushing forward, almost a POV perspective of an insect or an animal scurrying across the ground. Let's also do the same to this tree. Try to capture the world in a way that it isn't usually seen. Look for unique and interesting perspectives. Shoot in slow motion, move your camera in unusual ways. This is what's going to make your footage stand out. Now, although today's theme is nature, you as a videographer or a filmmaker are still in control of the style, the mood, the camera movement, and the information that you want to get across to your audience. So for example, do you want your film to be sad about deforestation, about how upsetting it is that nature is disappearing? You could, for example, have a close-up shot of a cut-down tree. You could add sad music, sound effects, and a dark, moody color grade to help emphasize the sadness. Or you could just keep your sequence happy, colorful, and full of life. As a creator, the choice is yours. The way you move your camera, your focal length, your frame rate, all of the decisions that you make on your shoot will have a big impact on how your audience feels. Okay, now it's just about lunchtime here and I'm starting to get hungry, but I want to maximize my time on this shoot. So I'm going to put my camera in time-lapse mode, tap the screen to lock focus and exposure, and then rest it against my camera bag and hit record. I can now sit down, have a bite to eat, let the camera do the work, and this is the result. Also, talking of maximizing your time, look, whilst we're here, let's capture more than one shot. We've got a time lapse, but it won't take any more than 10 seconds to get 2 more shots. I'm going to grab a slow motion shot using the wide angle lens pulling back, and I'm going to do the same, only this time sliding from left to right. Now, your focal length has a big impact on what your audience sees. Take this slider shot, for example. This is a very tight focal length, so it's very zoomed in, great for drawing attention to the rocks in this river. Now here's that same shot, only this time using the ultra-wide lens and tilting down. This shot gives the audience much more information and it establishes the location much better, but the one that works best is dependent on you and the story that you're trying to tell. Also, if you want things to appear bigger and more dramatic than what they actually are, try pointing your camera up, use the wide angle lens and shoot in slow motion. Now, one of the beauties of shooting using a smartphone is that you can put it in places that would be much harder using a bigger camera. This allows you to capture some really creative and unusual shots. Take this shot here, for example. I'm going to get my camera as close as I can to the surface of this river and pull back. Shoot in slow motion using the wide-angle lens, and this is the result. These unusual perspectives and camera movements are what make the ordinary look extraordinary, so be sure to experiment and get creative. Now, this wouldn't be much of a cinematic nature B-roll sequence without some wildlife. Unfortunately, we've got the sun, it's setting, we've got a beautiful landscape as a backdrop, we've got some Dartmoor ponies in front of us, and on top of all that, we've got this rock here which is perfect for creating some foreground and depth. Now, fortunately, the phone that I'm using today, the iPhone 13 Pro Max, has 3 lenses. We've got an ultra wide, a standard, and a telephoto lens. And this comes in really useful for capturing close-up shots of wildlife. It means that I don't have to get too close. I'm not going to scare them, but I can still get the shot. Hello, look, I got company. He's coming over here. Hello. They're friendly, these things. He's having a good old sniff there. Look, that's my camera bag. Don't chew it. Sniff, don't chew. Oh, here we go. He's coming over to say hello. Hello. You friendly? Ah. Hello. Hello. I'm trying to bite. Don't sniff the camera. Don't sniff the camera. Excuse me, can you not chew the... Don't chew the camera. Do you fancy being in my cinematic nature B-roll video? Yeah? Is that a yes? Good girl. Okay, you stay there for me. I'm just going to capture a shot of you with the sunset in the background, okay? Stay right there for me. You look beautiful. Beautiful. I'm just going to do a shot that loops around you like that. Should we get the sunset in the background, do you mind? There we go, girl, that's the one. Okay, I think we're just gonna zoom in. Mate, let's go, oh, look at that. Let's get a close-up of your eyes. Glistening in the sun. Good girl. I've gotta go back a little bit, okay? The idea here is that you're gonna be in crisp focus and the background is gonna be all blurry, okay? I just need you to stay still. Can you stay still? Come over this way. Come over this way. Good girl, that's it. Oh, look at that. Let's lock you in. You're a little bit close. A couple steps back. Let's see if we can get a blurry background, shall we? There we go. Stay still. Stay still. Okay, I've really got to finish this video. I've got to go a few more shots. Okay, I'm going to put this newfound friendship on hold whilst I get the remaining shots for this sequence. I'm going to shoot towards the sun and play with light. I'm going to shoot in slow motion, get low, and mix up my focal lengths. Okay, so we now have all the footage that we need to create a short cinematic sequence, but we're going to need some music and sound effects. For this, I'm going to head over to Epidemic Sound and search for some cinematic music. Music makes such a huge difference to your footage, so it's really worth putting in the time to find a track that best suits the style and mood that you're going for. Thankfully, Epidemic Sound make this process nice and easy. They've got archives and playlists, they've got cinematic, film scores, hip hop, rock, and anything else you could possibly need. They've also got a huge sound effects library, and this comes in really useful to be able to just grab any sounds you might need for your edits. I'm going to grab some forest sounds, some birds, a river flowing, anything that I think will help elevate this footage. I've been using Epidemic Sound for years. If you haven't tried them already, then I highly recommend. I'll put a link to a free 30-day trial in the description below, as well as a link to a 50% discount on a 12-month personal plan. Now, I honestly don't know how long this will last. If you're watching this in the future, it will probably have ended, but if you're one of the early ones watching this, then there will be a link in the description below. Be sure to check it out. Okay, right, let's take a look. Let's see what all of this footage looks like with music, color grading, and sound effects. So there you have it. That is how you shoot cinematic nature B-roll. Hopefully this video has shown you just what difference adding music and sound effects can make to your footage. Also, hopefully it's got you thinking on a deeper level about your camera movement, focal length, adding layers and depth to your shot. If it did, let me know. Give it the old thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more content like this, learn more about video production, you can do that by watching one of my other videos just over there. But that's it from me. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.